We need to choose to release the past and forgive everyone, ourselves included. We may not know how to forgive, and we may not want to forgive, but the very fact that we say we are willing to forgive begins the healing process. I would add to that concept that the very person you find it hardest to forgive, it is the one you need to let go of the most. Forgiveness means giving up, letting go. It has nothing to do with condoning behavior. It's just letting the whole thing go. We do not have to know how to forgive. All we need to know is to be willing to forgive. The universe will take care of the house. This book has been helping me a lot on my journey to forgive. I grew up in a very, very hard environment. I grew up in a small town in Brazil. My mom, she had 6 kids, with me included, and she wasn't just able to take care of us because mentally and physically she wasn't able. She would leave me alone with my brothers, newborn, while we had no food. Honestly, I would be lying if I said no food. We had rice and sugar. So I remember making that for my brothers, or sometimes a plain noodle. She also grew up in a very bad environment. Her mom left her when she was 18 months in the bed with my granddad, and then he just didn't know how to raise her. She didn't have the mom love, so she went through the world seeking for love in the wrong places. So by doing that, trying to seek love with men, not giving herself love because she didn't have it. How would she give something to herself if she didn't have it? So she started to have a relationship with random people, random guys. So getting in bad relationship with the man, they just got her pregnant and left her. And that was her entire life, basically. She was seeking love in the wrong places. So, and then my mom, she had her first child, and my brother, he's my older brother. My dad didn't really want to assume the child, didn't want to help my mom. He wasn't normal mentally either. So he told my mom that he knew a family that they were wanting a child, that they wanted to adopt a child. So my grandmother, my mom was living at my grandmother's house at that time. She didn't have anywhere to go. My dad didn't really want to help with anything. She didn't have a job. She also had health problems. So what ended up happening was that she donated my brother, my first brother. So my dad found a family, they took care of him with a lot of love. Then my mom decided to have me because she regretted the act that she gave a child. After that, my dad left her, he wasn't with her anymore. And then my mom found another guy. And this guy became my stepfather. And he wasn't a good person. Honestly, now with the thoughts that I have, is that he didn't know how to be a good person. And so how do you expect someone to be something that they never had, right? I don't know about his story, but I just know that when I was 5 years old, he started abusing me. He started to touching me in places that he wasn't supposed to. So I told my mom that. It took me a while to tell her because he was threatening me, saying, if you tell your mom, I'm gonna hit you, or I don't remember exactly the words, but he was making me fearful. So, and then I finally was whatever, I'm sick of this, I'm gonna tell my mom, thinking she's gonna protect me, she's gonna take me out of this house, and this is gonna stop. And then I told her, she was okay, I'm gonna put you in front of him, and I'm gonna ask you both, I'm gonna see who is lying. So I was 5 years old, and he was a grown man. She put us in front of each other. and asked him, she told me this and this and that, is that true? And he said, of course not. And then he threw my shirt at that time in my face. He like scrubbed it on my face. And then he said, she's a liar. And then after that, honestly, I don't know if I learned how to disassociate. I'm like, am I lying? Is that true? What's happening true? I don't know. In a child's mind, something is happening. You tell your mom, she doesn't believe you. You just learn how to not be in the present. You're constantly in the future. So I grew up a child that was very anxious, very, very anxious. So after that, my mom had another child. I'm not gonna mention my brother's name because I don't know, I don't have a permission for that, so I feel bad. So brother number one, he was the first child. He was donated first. My mom never had any contact with him, only after giving birth. That's it. She gave him after she gave birth, and then she had me. And then I am child number two. Child number three, she had with my stepfather, the one that was the abuser. And then my mom found out that my stepfather was cheating on her. So she just lost her mind. She was devastated. I think that was one of the things that needed for her to just lose her mind. She was already abandoned by her mom, and then she trusts fully in one guy, he leave her, and then she trusts fully in another guy, and then she finds out that he's cheating on her. So I think she just went nuts, and she brought me 5, 6, 7, I don't know what age, to be following him on the streets to find out if he was cheating on her or not. So, and then she found out, then she left him. Then she had a case with another guy, and she had another children number 4. That guy was a married guy. I remember her bringing him inside of her house, and I remember telling her, no, don't do that, that's wrong. And I was like 9 or something. Then after that, my mom had another child number 5. So one day I went to Facebook, and then I searched my brother's name, and constantly he had the same last name as I had at that time. In the family that adopted him, my first brother number 1, the family that adopted him had the same last name. It was a coincidence, like we're not related. So I found him, I texted him, and I'm like, oh, hi, do you know that I'm your sister, right? And then I think he was shocked at first. He knew he was adopted, but he would never expect that his sister someday would like reached out to him or anything like that. It was very out of the blue. So I was 13, 14 at that time when I texted him. So, and then he replied to me, and then we started talking. So, and then he lived 1 hour away from my city. I met his mom. I started talking to him through the phone, and then eventually I went to finally meet my brother in person. When I came back home to my city, I saw my mom in front of a bank. I remember perfectly that day. I saw her, and then I'm like, where is my brother? It's like, what happened? Because I saw her by herself with no one around, and she used to be having one in her lap, pushing one in her hand, and then the other one was behind her. So, and then she was like, I donated them. I donated all of them, included you. I looked at her. I just don't remember the exact words I used because I was 14 at that time. And I'm like, are you crazy? And I'm like, I can't believe you did that. So I just remember having that brief conversation with her. And then I went to Daura's house. Daura, she was a very, very lovely person, and she helped me a lot. When I met her, I was 10, and my mom simply just dropped me at her house because she didn't have anyone to live me when she was giving birth to baby number 4. And then I stayed at her house. So she hosted me, and I never left her house. She was an angel. She is an angel in my life. And she taught me literally everything I know today. She brought me to church. she taught me about Jesus, and she corrected me because I was living basically in a favela. So the way I was talking, my language, the way I was, everything, she shaped everything. So when I saw her environment, her house, and her a completely different setup and household. She was married for 50 years, and she had her children, very stable house. Everyone looks very normal. So I'm like, this is different. Like, this is what I want in my life. This is what I want. So she was the example that I didn't have and I needed the most at that age. I went to Dauda's house after my mom told me that she donated me and my brother included, told all of them. I told her all that happened, what my mom told me. So she said, Priscilla, I'm sorry, like I don't remember exact words, but she was just like, I wish I could get you, but I'm just too old. I cannot, I have a responsibility with a teenager right now. It's just, you're too much. And I get it, she wanted to help me somehow. So I went to adoption place. So I was there, my brother and I stayed there for a month, about a month. That place wasn't a place for you to stay for too long. It was a place for you to just like pass and then move on and go to a different family, a family that can help you and stay with them. So, and then after that, my neighbor, I asked her, can you please get me, I want to leave this place. Oh, I don't want to be here. So, and then she did. When I was leaving the house, this place, the adoption center house, I remember my brother outside crying and looking at me, and he was like, Priscilla, don't leave me here. And I was 14 at that time, and he was 7 or 6. That literally broke my heart, because if I was 18, all I had in my head, if I had a job, I could get all of my brothers and raise them. So that was the mindset that I had at that time. So eventually all of my brothers, they got adopted. Brother number 3, he was adopted for his aunt. His aunt adopted him. And then my brother number 4, he was adopted. His dad got him. And I went to this neighbor house. I stayed there for 2 years. I was a very independent child because my mom used to leave me by myself in the house with a newborn and no food. And I had to just figure it out what to do. I didn't have anyone telling me, you gotta do this and this and that. I had to figure it out, what I'm gonna do at this time. Or one event that when she left, I don't remember what she was doing. She just left for hours, and she just had a baby. And baby number 5, this baby was just breastfeeding, and we had nothing, no milk, nothing like that, no fridge, no power. There was no power, no water in that house. It's hard to remember that, and like, yeah. So, and then I got desperate. I remember I got desperate. I remember that she used to lock all the windows because she didn't want us to get out of the house. I opened it. I gave the newborn to my 7-year-old brother, maybe 5 at that time, to hold. And I called him until I jumped the window, and then you can give the newborn to me so I can go to the neighbor's house and see if they have something for us to eat or something, because my brothers were crying. So I used to drag my brothers to the neighbor's house and hearing them saying like, I am not obligated to take care of other people's children. I was just ignoring the fact that they were just kicking us out, and I was there anyway because it wasn't for me, right? It was for them, for me too. I needed to eat. So I remember doing that, and then after that, when I was adopted by my neighbor, it didn't work out. I remember having a lot of conflict with the three other daughters that this person had. I remember they having jealousy issues towards me. Why Priscilla gets this and I don't get it? Because I was a very driven person. I want this, I'm gonna work for it. They didn't like me working for it. You're just 14 years old, you're not supposed to be working, blah blah blah. I wanted to be working. And so I got my phone, I bought my phone. I was working as a cleaner at that time. So I bought my first phone like that. One day, one of her daughters was ignoring me too much, and I couldn't deal with that. I couldn't deal with the person living right in the same roof as me and not talking to me because of silly things, because of jealousy of some sort, or just because I don't know. I don't know exactly what happened, but I remember having a lot of conflict in a house. And then I went to the social worker. I remember at that time being 16. I was 16 at that time because it was 2 years later. I remember telling them I want to leave that house. I want to go back to the orphanage. So, and then she asked why. I'm like, because one of her daughters is sick. She doesn't eat. She's not eating. And I think she just hates me. And I don't want to be in that house. I don't want to be the reason why she's sick. I don't want to be, and that environment's not doing well for me. So, and then they transferred me back. So I'm back there. 2 months later, I was in the orphanage. I received an offer to work at the bank, Caixa at that time. And that offer changed my entire life. I remember having just one position, and 20 girls went over to that day to do a job interview. So part of the reason why they probably gave me that job is because I was in the orphanage. I don't know. I think other girls at the orphanage also had it too, the opportunity to go. So, and then I went with the mentality, this job is mine. I remember this old lady at the orphanage, just Priscilla, this is already yours. You deserve it. And then I went with that mentality, this job is mine. I already got it. So, and then I got the job. I was working as young learning kind of thing. So I was kind of like helping people outside of the bank with apps. Then I helped opening accounts at the bank, in organizing files, contracts, and that I learned a lot. 3 years later, I received an offer to upgrade, basically. So they had a position for me to work and earn more. And then one requirement of the position was for me to finish my high school. As I was behind a year, I was 17, I was 19. I would finish with 19, but usually you finish in Brazil at 18. So in 7th grade, I repeated a year because of not going to school. I repeated because of missing class and not going to school. As you can see, how was the reason my mom would take us to random cities in the middle of the weekend, and we would be traveling to literally no, there was no goal. Where are you going? Where are we going? No, just walking randomly in the streets like that with the dirty kids and all of us. So that affected me in that matter. So for that reason, I repeated a year, so I was behind. And then when this position came to me, they were like, oh, you need to finish high school. I'm like, okay, how can I fix this? How can I do this? How can I make this happen? I was in the 2nd year of high school, so like 1 year to finish it. So I went to those program that they have for for adults to finish their high school. So it's like a second chance for them to finish it quick. So I did that called Seja. And that allowed me to finish 1 year in 1 month, 1.5 months. And then I got the position at Caixa. So I remember I was so proud of myself. I finally got to live by myself. So after that, I got a job. I was living by myself, and I remember that was the craziest time in my life. I don't know how I did that with God. Studying in the morning, 7 to 12, and then 12 to 5, working on the afternoon, and then 6 to 9, I was doing a preparation for college. It's like a course, because my school wasn't strong enough. The curriculum was just not good. I needed to have more base. So, and then I remember I wanted to go to doctor school at that time, and then I just went to biomedical science because I realized that I don't have rich parents. I couldn't pay for my rent. I needed to work. So how do you study a doctor school if you need to work full time? How do you study? So I came into that conclusion, and then good enough that I got really, really good grades. I got a discount, like 60% of discount on a biomedical science. So I got in a private school to do biomedical science, and then I did 3 years of biomedical science, and at 2 years and a half into my college, I was working at the bank. I got the position, the second position at the bank, to earn more. I always wanted to improve my English. My English was 0 in 2021. I knew nothing, and I'm like, I want to improve my English. I love music. I love to sing. I love to learn. So I wanted to improve my English. Plus of that, and I wanted to save money. So I saw a YouTube video on YouTube, of course, and this girl was saying the pros and cons of being an au pair. Then I came in US as an au pair, and my life literally bloomed. It changed forever. I'm gonna make a part 2 of this video.